I'm gonna pick it every time.
You're afterpaying your afterpay.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Afterpay, Affirm, Klarna, they are not your friend. Their entire business model is built around encouraging you to spend money on things that you want and not what you actually need. By breaking down the cost of a product or a service into like 4 payments, they're making it seem less expensive than it is, and at the same time, lowering the barrier to entry for purchasing that product or service, which in turn leads to a bunch of people buying things that they don't necessarily need or that they can't afford. We've all seen it. You end up on the checkout page and then bang, there it is, right in front of your face. Today, we're gonna be watching some TikToks to get a better idea of how people are using this type of credit, as well as learning about the dangers that come with it.
And if it's Afterpay, I'm gonna pick it every time. If there is an option for Afterpay, I'm clicking it. I don't care how much money I have. I don't even care how much the product is. If it's $5, then I'm paying 4 payments of $125. They literally made Afterpay for us girls. It's girl math. We like, okay, so if I have to break this up, it's really like I'm not even paying for anything. Am I right? They need to start doing Afterpay for cars, houses. I'm gonna pick it every time. Because what? You mean to tell me that I can pay this later? Oh yeah, I'm gonna pick it. But my problem is, stop texting me. Because I know when it's due. I know it's due today. You don't have to text me, email me. They be like, hello, your payment is due tomorrow. And then boom, that gets paid. And then 2 days later, your next payment. Girl, stop texting me. I know when it's due.
There's a part of me that's wondering if this video is a bit. I don't think it is. So let's take it at face value. Wanting to afterpay your car loan, wanting to afterpay your mortgage payment. Imagine afterpaying your rent. You can't make rent 1 month, so you defer the payment 4x4 for the next 4 months. So now your rent for the next 4 months is a quarter larger. These comments I'm reading are not looking good. Hello, somebody. I don't care if the money is there. Let me get that 4 for 4. Baby, I got them all. Afterpay, Klarna, Sezzle, Affirm, ZipPay, and ShopPay. If you have them all, that leads me to believe that you've maxed out one and you're moving on to the next one, and then you max out that one and so on and so forth. I don't think I need to explain how that's not financially responsible. The woman in the video is talking about getting notifications about the payments. If you have like 7 of these things, would you not be getting notifications like 3 times a day? Could you imagine being hassled every single day for payments on things that you forgot you even bought? This is the worst part, is like people use these buy now, pay later services, and they will have already forgotten that they've bought that thing before their payments are even finished. Explain this one to me. How could you have needed that item if by the 4th payment or even the 2nd payment, you already forgot that you bought it? Yeah, you definitely needed that. Life-changing purchase right there for sure. I booked a whole trip on Klarna and Afterpay. Girly. That is trifling behavior. If you're using 2 different buy now, pay later services to go on that trip, you can't afford it. Stop lying to yourself. You can't go on that trip. This just gave me the confidence to start using Afterpay, LOL. That is not what I want to hear. Definitely not. Just because other people are doing something does not make it right. And even if a lot of people are doing something, that still doesn't make it right. We need to be careful about who we're taking advice from. Do you want to take financial advice from the person who's in debt to 7 different buy now, pay later services? I also think that making videos like this are a bad look because they endorse this poor financial behavior. If you are encouraging people to spend what they don't have, that is just plain irresponsible. If my budget is $100, but you offer Afterpay, boom, my new budget, $400. I don't make the rules. Buy now, pay later encourages you to spend more of what you don't have. If you're originally thinking of spending $100 and you drop 4 times that ain't right. I always find it so funny when people think that they've found like an infinite money glitch. It happened recently with Chase Bank. A few months ago, TikTok found out about check fraud and really thought that they found an infinite money glitch. Money is not that hard to understand when you look at it this way. If it is your money that you earned with your job, you can spend it on anything you like, no matter what. As soon as you buy something that is more expensive than the amount of money you have access to, you are now spending someone else's money. And when you spend someone else's money, that always comes with terms, conditions, rules, and you always have to pay it back. I want to make this very clear for Gen Z. There is no such thing as an infinite money glitch, and trying to scheme and screw over lenders does not work, because if you try and pull some stuff like this after paying a phone when you're 15 and then canceling the payment method that's tied to the purchase, that's just fraud. Why would lenders trust you after you pulled a stint like that? Because apparently they record that. Yeah, babes. Unpaid debts go to collections. Google is free, by the way. How to avoid fraud. Step 1. Search it on Google. If you think you found some kind of loophole, I guarantee you you're not the first person to think about it. And because of that, there's already been a patch for it. It is not free money. Yes, you have to pay it back. That's how it works. I'm not sure how that's so difficult to understand. $1,000 on Afterpay? Girl, I think you've got a problem. You may want to chill out on some of that spending, pull back on some of those wants, and start focusing more on the needs.
You're afterpaying your afterpay.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Do you understand what this means?
I'm not paying it right away and I can pay it later.
So you want to go make a purchase.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not going to pay for it all right now, so I'm going to put it on Afterpay.
Yeah.
So that I make multiple payments on it.
Yeah.
But instead of you paying off your Afterpay,
Yeah.
you then further put it on a credit card, meaning you're delaying the payment twice.
I didn't think
if you're
about
not willing
it that
to,
way.
you didn't think about it.
It's supposed to explain it to me.
I just did.
I know. So now I know.
If you are not able to pay for an item, don't buy it. Let's start there.
Afterpaying your Afterpay is crazy work. That is delinquent behavior. Holy smokes. I understand that money is a taboo subject and that a lot of households and families and people don't talk about money. But I have to say it again. Google is free, by the way. You don't need people in your life to tell you what is good or bad for money. There are resources out there that you can read up on that will answer your questions for you. Pleading ignorance on this stuff, grow up. We have to be doing better than this. Paying off your Afterpay on a credit card so you can wait another month and a half to then pay that off, just don't buy it. If you have to delay a quarter of a payment of a thing by another month and a half, meaning the first quarter payment that you make, you're actually not paying for it until a month and a half later. If you can't afford something, don't buy it.
Fine.
And 2, if you do Afterpay, which please don't, because you just can't manage that, don't pay it by going into debt more.
Okay.
Don't Afterpay your Afterpay, and don't Afterpay your Afterpay your Afterpay. Have you ever done a balance transfer or consolidation?
No.
Oh, because if you did that, that would be Afterpay and your Afterpay and your Afterpay.
I don't even know how to do that.
Good.
Okay.
And please don't.
As you're starting to see, there's a common trend associated with users of buy now, pay later services. That trend being that their debt management is not good. And the debt pool that these people have is greater and larger than those who don't use buy now, pay later. And I have data to protect everything that I'm about to say. In March of 2023, the Consumer Protection Financial Bureau released the results of a survey that they conducted. They looked at a whole slew of factors around the type of people that do or don't use buy now, pay later services. And generally speaking, the conclusions are that people who use buy now, pay later have higher delinquency rates on their debt, a larger credit mix, are way more likely to have an account in overdraft as opposed to someone who doesn't use buy now, pay later. And if you look at income demographics, the higher the household income, the less likely they are to use buy now, pay later. Buy now, pay later directly attacks lower income bracket individuals and households, and it's not close. And the younger you are, the more likely you are to use buy now, pay later. They also looked at credit scores, and for those that use buy now, pay later, on average, their credit score is way lower than someone who doesn't use buy now, pay later. Some people think it's free money and that they don't have to pay it back. People are also told that it doesn't affect your credit. It doesn't affect your credit when you make your payments, so you don't get any benefit from using buy now, pay later. However, it does affect your credit if you miss payments or just don't pay at all. In that case, your credit score is most certainly negatively impacted. So in terms of credit scores, making payments and things like that, there is zero benefit to using Afterpay to increase your credit score. Just won't happen. And there is all the downside if you miss a payment or don't pay at all. It is designed to hurt you and punish you and give you nothing in return.
Life tip for young men, you should never be using Afterpay or Klarna. Few reasons why. Number one, these programs do not affect your credit score. Most people who are financially irresponsible love the sound of that shit. But if you're responsibly making payments on something, it should increase your credit score. Another reason is these programs are mainly used on brands that provide wants. Shit that they know financially irresponsible people love to buy. Designer brands, sneakers, cologne, beauty products, you name it. If you have to finance products like that, you should not be buying them in the first place. I know it's a little off topic, but don't be using that shit.
He makes two very good points in his video. The first one we had already kind of touched on, but that second point is also very true. Buy now, pay later only really shows up on wants, luxury goods, on things that you definitely don't need. Literally for that reason alone, you shouldn't need to use them. And I like what he said. If you need to use buy now, pay later for a want, you should not be buying that at all. Usually a good metric to know if you can afford something or not is if you could buy it twice. If you can buy an item twice without being in financial pain afterwards, generally that means you can afford that thing. Because if it gets ruined, breaks, doesn't work anymore, and it's, let's say it's unrepairable or ruined, you can afford to buy another one. I financed a pizza because I was hungry. Bro, are people really out here financing clothes? Yes they are. People are financing clothing. Looks like we've reached the end of the video. If you made it this far and you're not subscribed, I think you should fix that. And while you're down there, drop a like as well. And if you want to watch a video about why young people are stuck living at home, click this video here.